So this is your Unit 2, Part 2 test review, and, I'm sorry, your Unit 7, which is your final exam, Part 2 test review. So all of these questions are very similar to what you are going to see on your test. They're not exactly the same, but if you follow this as a guide, then you should do pretty well on it. Okay, the first one here says the surface area of two similar pyramids are 324 centimeters squared and 80 centimeters squared. If the volume of the smaller cylinder is 115 centimeters cubed, find the volume of the larger cylinder. Okay, so what we want to do first, okay, is we want to find the ratio that was used to find to get the scale factor. Okay, now this tells us that the surface area of these two similar cylinders is 324 centimeters squared and 80 centimeters squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these two numbers on top of each other. Okay, if you take 324 and you divide it by 80, then you're going to get 4.01. So for these purposes, we're just going to call it 4. Okay, um, that's all that we're going to do. So anyway, so this is the ratio of areas. Okay, now if you remember what we talked about, the ratio of areas, the scale factor is squared. So in order to get the scale factor, we're going to take the square root of 4. So the scale factor used to dilate these two cylinders is 2. Okay, so now we're going to take this 2 and we're going to use it to find the volume of a larger cylinder. Okay, so what that means is, so what we talked about earlier is volume. Okay, the scale factor is cubed. So now what we want to do with this 2 is we want to cube it. Okay, 2 cubed equals 8. So what that means then is we want to take 115 and we want to multiply it by 8. Okay, so I'm going to go out here. Use my calculator. So I'm going to take 115, I'm going to multiply it by 8, and that's going to give me an answer of 920. Okay, so then my answer for this one is going to be 920 centimeters cubed. Okay, on this one, number 2, and if you'll notice on your part 2 test, the numbers are a little messed up. This is number 2, and then this one says number 2, but it's number 3. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened there, but the numbers are a little messed up. It says a person who is 5 feet 6 inches tall casts a shadow that is 12 feet long. Okay, so this is your person. They're 5.5 feet tall. Okay, so this is 5.5 feet. They cast a shadow that is 12 feet long. So S to N is 12 feet long. The distance along the ground from the person to the flagpole is 18 feet. So from here to here is 18 feet. We want to find the height of the flagpole. So all you're going to do is set up a proportion right here. We're going to set up 5.5 over 12, okay? That's their height and their shadow. And then X is going to be our flagpole. Now here's the thing, you want to set this up, you want to put 18 plus 12 because the proportion wants the whole shadow. Okay, so you're going to have to add 18 plus 12. So that's going to give you 30. So now you're going to cross multiply. Okay, you're going to take 30 times 5.5. So again, I'm going to get my calculator here. We're going to take 30. Oh, whoops. Times 5.5. And that's going to give us 165. And then we're going to divide that by 12. Okay, so, and I'll show you that here in a second. So we have, okay, so we have 165 equals 12x, all right, and then that's where I did the divide right there, right? I did, so then I took the 165 right there, and because if you push divide, see it says answer, that means 165 divided by 12 is 13.75. Okay, so that would be the answer. It's going to be 13.75. Okay, on this one, we want to find the total surface area and the volume. Okay, so on this one, you need to go to your formula chart here. And if you notice, it says that, this down just a little bit. Okay, the surface area for a pyramid is going to be 1/2 PL plus B. Okay, so we're going to use that first. Okay, so P is the perimeter of the base. Okay, it's a square pyramid, so we're going to add up all of these sides. Okay, so 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 is going to be 64. L is going to be the slant height of the base. Okay, the slant height is what goes from here to here. So that's times 17. And then you're going to take the area of the base, which is going to be 16 times 16. So again, I'm going to get my calculator here. I'm going to take 16 times 16, which gives us 256. Okay, so now we're going to come back here. We're going to take 1/2 times 64 times 17. Which is 544, and we're going to add that to 256, which is going to give us 800. So our answer then for the total surface area is going to be 800 centimeters squared. Okay, and then for volume, okay, we're going to use our formula chart again. Okay, volume of a pyramid is 1/3 area of the base times height. Okay, so here we're going to take 1/3 times the area of the base, which we already found, right? 16 times 16, which is 256. And then the height here is, the height is going to be 15. Okay, it's that one right there. So now what we're going to do is go back to our calculator. We're going to take 256 times 15. And then times 1/3 is the same as dividing it by 3. So we're going to divide that by 3, and we're going to get 1280 as our answer. So 1280 centimeters cubed. Okay, and then that one was number 3. Okay, and then your last one, number 4, says the diameter of the circle C is 24 centimeters. Okay, the measure, and this is arc dB. Okay, that's what it's supposed to say. The measure of arc dB is 40 degrees. Use this information and your experience in geometry to answer these questions. Okay, the measure of angle DAB. Okay, so here, remember, this is an inscribed angle. Okay, and the inscribed angle is half of its intercepted arc. Okay, so you're just going to take 40 and divide it by 2. So your answer is going to be 20 degrees. And make sure that you show me your answer, or you show me your work. Okay, 40 divided by 2. Okay, now we want to find the measure of angle BDA. Okay, now what we know is that this C is a diameter, which means that this arc right here is 180. Okay, so again, that means the measure of angle BDA is half of this arc because it's an inscribed angle. So we're just going to take 180 and we're going to divide it by 2, so that's going to give you 90 degrees. So that's actually a 90-degree angle. And then for your last angle, DBA, okay, you can do several things, right? We could take, the easiest thing would just be to take 90 plus 20, right, which is 110, and then take 180 minus 110, which is 170 degrees. Okay, so this is 170 degrees. The last thing that wants you to do is actually find the length of arc dB. Okay, so not in degrees, but in radians. All right, and so remember what we do for to find that is we take the measure of the arc, right, the angle over 360, and we multiply it times 2 pi r. And it tells us here to use 3.14 as pi. So now what we're going to do is take the arc. So we have 40 over 360 times 2 times pi, and then our radius is going to be 12. Okay, So here our zeros cancels out, okay? And then 4 over 36 reduces down to 1/9. So we have, and then 2 times 12 is 24 pi. So now we have 24 pi times 1/9. So if we go out here to our calculator, really all you need to do is take, oh, excuse me. All you need to do is take 24 first, and you want to divide it by 9, okay? Because 24 times 1/9 is the same as 24 divided by 9. And then just take that number and multiply it times 3.14. And then you'll get your length is 8.4. Okay, and that would be in centimeters, right? Because that's what all of your answers are in. Okay, so then your length is 8.4 centimeters. And remember, guys, you got to show me all of your work for all of this. Okay, good luck on your test.